Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.
Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Skyrim Zimik. Here are top stories we're tracking for you on Wednesday, the 10th of June. 5 terrorists neutralized in encounter in India's Jammu and Kashmir. WHO calls for intermittent lockdown in Pakistan as COVID-19 cases rise sharply. And Bangladeshi garment workers demand overdue salaries amid pandemic. And now for all the details, India on Wednesday reported a spike of 9,985 more COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours, taking the country's COVID-19 count to 276,583. Meanwhile, for the first time, the number of recovered COVID-19 patients on Wednesday surpassed the total active cases in India. Total recovery rate has reached 48.47% in a battle against coronavirus pandemic.
For the first time, the number of recovered COVID-19 patients on Wednesday surpassed the total active cases in India, according to the Health Ministry. The latest update by Wednesday afternoon noted 133,632 active cases, including one migrated case, while the number of recovered patients is at 135,205. Indian government said that the total recovery rate has reached 48.47% in the battle against coronavirus pandemic. Meanwhile, capital New Delhi is facing an unprecedented challenge arising out of COVID-19 pandemic, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal said on Wednesday. He said the Lieutenant Governor's orders overruling his government's decisions to treat everyone in Delhi hospitals will be respected, but it would be a huge challenge to provide beds for COVID-19 treatment, given his government's estimates of the rise in virus cases by July and the corresponding demand for beds.
बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ी चुनौती है, आसान काम नहीं है, लेकिन इतना मैं कह सकता हूँ कि हम पूरी कोशिश करेंगे, तन मन धन जो बन सकेगा, ये हमारी जिम्मेदारी भी है और ये सेवा का काम है.
According to the Indian Council of Medical Research, 1,45,216 samples were tested in the last 24 hours, while overall 50,61,332 samples have been tested so far.
5 terrorists were neutralized by security forces in an encounter in Shopian district of India's Jammu and Kashmir on Wednesday. This was the third encounter in Shopian in 4 days.
In another major anti-militancy operation in India's Jammu and Kashmir, security forces neutralized 5 terrorists in a gunfight in Shopian district on Wednesday. The encounter broke out in Sugu in Shopian morning as security forces had laid a cordon in the area based on specific inputs. The terrorists were gunned down in retaliatory fire, police said. It was the third encounter in Shopian in 4 days. Earlier, 9 terrorists belonging to Pakistan-based Hizbul Mujahideen were shot dead by security forces on Sunday and Monday. Search operations were still underway in the district till the last reports came in. Meanwhile, on Wednesday, Pakistani troops continued to resort to ceasefire violation along the border in Rajouri district, a day after they targeted civilian areas in Uri district of India's Jammu and Kashmir, damaging several homes. India blames neighbouring Pakistan helps terrorists infiltrate across the border during such ceasefire violations. Security officials have claimed despite coronavirus pandemic, there has been a spike in activities by Pakistan-backed terror groups.
The World Health Organization has recommended Pakistani authorities to reimpose intermittent lockdowns to curb coronavirus spread, stating the country did not meet the global body's conditions for lifting restrictions.
The World Health Organization has recommended Pakistani authorities to reimpose intermittent lockdowns of targeted areas to curb coronavirus spread, stating the country did not meet the global body's conditions for lifting restrictions. A surge of new cases has hit the South Asian nation after the government lifted its lockdown on May 9, citing economic pressures. A total of 113,702 confirmed coronavirus cases and 2,255 deaths were reported in Pakistan as of Wednesday. In letters sent by the WHO on June 7th to health authorities of Pakistan's two most populous provinces, Punjab and Sindh, it stressed the need to mitigate the risk of the health system collapsing. The letters signed by WHO's head of mission in Pakistan, Dr. Palita Mahipala, said, WHO strongly recommends the government adapt the 2 weeks off and 2 weeks on strategy. WHO recommends 6 conditions for lifting restrictions, including the disease transmission being under control, being able to detect, test, isolate and treat every case and trace every contact, essential places having established preventive measures, and communities being educated, engaged and empowered to live under a new normal. Pakistan, the letters said, met none of the conditions. Punjab and Sindh authorities both endorsed the WHO's concerns and said the provincial cabinets would discuss the recommendations.
Pakistan's Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa, who visited Kabul on Tuesday, held talks with Afghan President Ashraf Ghani and Abdullah, head of the High Council for National Reconciliation, and discussed peace efforts and Pakistan's role. According to a statement by the Presidential Palace, Ghani and Bajwa discussed Pakistan's support for the peace process and also discussed how the soil of either country should not be used against the other. Abdullah, during the talks, stressed the unique opportunity to further the cause of peace in Afghanistan and stability in the region as the High Council for National Reconciliation. Bajwa's meeting comes after his meeting with US Special Envoy Zalmay Khalilzad in Islamabad this weekend. Khalilzad will be visiting Kabul to discuss with Afghan leaders the next practical steps in the peace process, including the start of the intra-Afghan negotiations. A 12-year-old boy in Afghanistan's northern Chibargan city has been collecting usable items and taking garbage away from residential areas to unsettled fields and farmlands to keep the areas clean. His dream is to see a clean environment and better living conditions for everyone around him.
Collecting reusable items from garbage boxes in the Afghanistan's northern Jozjan provincial capital Shibargan city, 12-year-old Mohammad Nasir Haidari said his aim from scavenging is on one hand to earn a living and on the other to clean the area. The virtuous child said apart from collecting usable items, he also takes the garbage away from residential areas to unsettled fields or farmlands to keep the residential areas clean. To show the appreciation for the ambitious child and to encourage him to pursue his dream, the local authorities symbolically appointed Haidari as the head of the Provincial Environment Department for one day over the weekend to mark Environment Week.
هر جایی که زغال زیاد می بود می رفتیم جمع می کردیم قطی کاغذ و غیره را می فروختیم 100 یا 1.5 ساعت پیدا می کردیم روزانه او را به نان خشک می بردیم.
Afghanistan, according to Haidari, has been suffering for more than 4 decades of war, and as well as the people, towns and cities, the conflict has also hurt the environment. Although there are no official statistics on the number of street children in Afghanistan, a survey conducted in Jozjan province 1 year ago has identified more than 500 children involved in child labour in the province, according to Manpower and Social Affairs of the province.
Nepal's Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli on Wednesday called for talks with India to resolve ongoing border row. Relations between the two South Asian neighbours are at odds over claims on territories of Kalapani, Limpiadhura and Lipulekh.
Nepal's Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli on Wednesday called on for talks with India over the ongoing border row between the two countries. Addressing the lower house of parliament, Oli, however, blamed India of capturing territory of Kalapani by stationing its troops, ultimately cutting off the connection with Limpiadhura and Lipu Lake. His statement came a day after the lower house of Nepal parliament unanimously endorsed a proposal seeking consideration of a constitution amendment bill for change of the country's map, which includes the territories of Kalapani, Limpiadhura and Lipu Lake, also claimed by India. While House members extended support to the proposal pushed by KP Sharma Oli government on Tuesday, they had asked it to go forward for talks with India. India's foreign ministry had last month said such artificial enlargement of territorial claims will not be acceptable, but said the country remains open for dialogue.
About 1,000 garment workers held a protest near Bangladesh's Labour Ministry in Dhaka on Tuesday, demanding their overdue wages. Although several garment factories were able to reopen at the end of April after a weeks-long coronavirus lockdown, many have remained closed, unable to export goods and without new orders. About 1,000 garment workers protested overdue wages and shuttered factories near Bangladesh's Labour Ministry in Dhaka on Tuesday. They were from the Dhaka Export Promotion Zone, an area with hundreds of factories in the city. Although hundreds of garment factories were able to reopen at the end of April after a weeks-long shutdown to curb the spread of the coronavirus, many have remained closed, unable to export goods and without new orders. Workers said they want help from the ministry and the Prime Minister, having gone for months without pay.
আমরা রুম ভাড়া দিতে পারি না, দোকান বাকি দিতে পারি না। আমাগর মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রীর কাছে আকুল আবেদন, আমাগর এই ফ্যাক্টরির যত শ্রমিক ভাই বোন আছি সবার পাওনা দাওনা যাতে উনি বুঝায় দেয়।
Industry groups for the garment sector had previously warned that the shutdown that began on March 26 could cause the country to lose $6 billion in export revenue this financial year. The country reported 71,675 confirmed cases of the virus, with 975 deaths as of Wednesday. Couples in India found relief as weddings were allowed after the federal government on Monday lifted most restrictions, even as the country added a record number of infections in a single day.
A Sikh couple in Noida city near the Indian capital New Delhi got married in a Gurdwara with minimal guests who were seen maintaining social distancing. According to the bride, the couple followed all the regulations including social distancing, wearing masks and sanitization. After imposing a severe nationwide lockdown in March to hold the spread of coronavirus, several couples who wanted to get married in places of worship waited for the restrictions to be eased and many even postponed their wedding. After the government eased restrictions this week, couples flocked places of worship like temples and gurdwaras to tie the knot.
लॉकडाउन की वजह से कर नहीं पा रहे थे, काफ़ी डिले होता जा रहा था, तो आज पहला दिन था जो लॉकडाउन खुला है। गुरुद्वारा साहिब सभी धार्मिक स्थान जो खुले हैं, तो जैसे भगवान जी की मर्जी हुई तो आज हम दोनों का ब्याह हो गया।
In Agra city, home to the monument of love Taj Mahal, a bride was seen getting her makeup done with the artist wearing protective suits and masks. Meanwhile, India's total coronavirus cases reached 276,000, just behind Spain on Wednesday.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.
Subscribe TAG TV YouTube channel and press the notification button.